Hello, movie lovers. Yeah, you're with Bob. Bob here in Toronto.
Most impressive.
Toronto. On Cosburn Avenue.
We do! But where are you going?
Alright, I'm here to talk about the movies I watched this week. Try not to have too many spoilers on here. Just mostly talking about the movies, right? So when I mention a movie, I like it, I don't like it, I rate it, and all that stuff. It's up to you if you want to watch it, seek it out, stuff like that. You know how it works. So let's talk about the first movie I watched this week. Not that it matters. It's good for you. Get out the old trusted book. Oh. See no evil, hear no evil. Left, right, left, right. Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder's death, and Richard Pryor can't see. He's blind as a bat. And they hook up together. It has to do about a coin. This guy and girl's looking for a coin. It happens to be in their, what is it? Their tip box and that stuff. So, but they don't know that, right? So, yeah, they're getting followed by two people. They're trying to find out who's got the freaking coin. So yeah, it's alright. It's funny. I liked it. What can I say? What did I give it? Give it a 7. It's alright. It's worth a 7. It's good for a laugh. Alright, what else? Oh, Dumbo. I watched Dumbo. Dumbo's around here somewhere. I put it down. I don't know what I did with it. Everybody knows Dumbo, right? The elephant, right? Yeah. The stork brings mama elephant, right? Jumbo. A baby. You know, the stork. Everybody knows the friggin' stork. She gets the baby elephant. This baby elephant has gigantic freaking ears and he can fly. So, yeah, he's got a mouse for a buddy. I haven't seen it in years, but it was fun. Gave it a 7. You gotta watch Dumbo. Alright, what else? Oh yeah, I watched the Mortal, can't even talk right. Storm. Mortal Storm. 1940. Margaret Sullivan and Jimmy Stewart and Frank Morgan, Robert Young. This takes place in Germany, you know, around 1933 when Hitler came into effect. He was the chancellor, you know, and all this stuff started. And if you didn't do this, you didn't go along with this, you were kind of like, you weren't in, you know, you didn't fit in, so they had to keep an eye on you. And as time went by, things started happening. People started disappearing and, yeah, stuff like that. It's based on a true story, as far as I know. Don't take my word for it, but it's those kind of stories, right? This shit did happen, right? How you can have a mixed family, like you can have a mom and dad, and she can be German and he's not German, and you know Frank Morgan wasn't German as far as I understand, but his wife was. So his kids were half and half, but it's a very interesting story. You'll like it. I can't tell you the ending of it or anything like that, but yeah, I gave it an 8. And then I watched War. Well, that's the Mortal Storm, right? Yeah, so I gave that. What did I give it? I gave that an 8. Yeah, so I'll put that over there. And then I watched War of the Worlds. This one. Gene Barry, right? The original, as far as I know, I read the book, but I haven't read it for years. But I think the book actually took place. H.G. Wells, I think it was H.G. Wells, wrote the book around 1860 something. 1860s? Did he not? You know, and had to take the place of the Civil War after that, or someplace along there. But this takes place in the 50s, as when the movie was made. So this is War of the Worlds, and it has the aliens coming up out of the, Earth kind of thing, right? And spaceships kind of like roaming around with their beady eyes and making the noises, and zapping people. And the people burn up, disappear, and all become ashes. So this has been going on a long time. Yeah, so I can't tell you the ending of it because it will spoil it. But if you haven't seen War of the Worlds with Gene Barry and Anne Robinson from 1953, Bob recommends it. It's a good science fiction movie. Let's have a drink. And I watched this movie. This movie is called Goodbye Butterfly, starring Jennifer Adams, Doug Bradford, and Marie Burke. A little girl is found dead, so the dad thinks it's the neighbor next door. So him and a friend kidnap him. Yeah, he thinks it's the queer guy, odd-looking guy next door. So he tells his buddy, I think he did it. I think he knows where the other girl is too, because by now there's another girl that's been kidnapped, right? And the cops are out looking for her. He has a police lady helping him out, right? Trying to find, who killed his daughter. So it goes on with that, right? And they go to this guy's house and all that. And it gets a little messy, but and not a bad story. What year was this? 2021. 2021, yeah. Goodbye Butterfly. When you lose everything, you become capable of anything. After, Tyler Wayne's Goodbye, Butterfly opens with a tender moment between a father, Ryan, right? Adam Donchik, I don't know, and his 5-year-old daughter, Mia, going over the day's art project together. Cut to the middle of a forest, and daughter's dead. Yeah, so it's not a bad story. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Like I said, I keep repeating myself, Bob, but that's what happens. So I give it. What did I give it? I gave it a 6. And part of the reason I gave it a 6 is because of some of the acting. I didn't like some of the acting. I know it just didn't. The acting would have been a little bit better, and maybe it could have been a 7. But it's not a bad movie, and there's no reason not to watch it. So, yeah, I give it a 6. Goodbye Butterfly. And everybody knows this one. I thought, yeah, I'm going to watch this today. I'm going to watch John Wick. I'm in the mood for John Wick, right? So I gave this a watch. John Wick 2. Keanu Reeves, good old Canadian boy. Yeah, everybody's looking for John Wick. There's a $15 million bounty on his head. They're all out to kill him. Very good movie. Everybody knows John Wick. Not much to talk about. But if you haven't seen John Wick 1, 2, or 3 for that matter, get on the bandwagon. Get on the bandwagon, people. You're missing out. But then out of this set that I paid $17 for, I think from within the last few months, which if I correctly recall, this is on Amazon now again, and it's up to $38. I think $38, but I haven't seen it for a while. So it's gone for $17 when I paid that much money. They're now $38. So yeah, there's 10 movies on here. Now the movie that I just watched from here is called Arrival, 2017, right? With Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner, the guy who plays, what is it, Hawkeye? Was it Hawkeye in the Avengers? Pretty sure it's him. She's at home, and this lieutenant comes knocking on her door and wants to take her to this place where there's a spaceship sitting there hanging in the air, and with the other 11 spaceships all around the world in different parts of the world. He wants to know, she's a translator, I should say, right? She translates language. So he wants to know if she can translate what the aliens are saying to them from this spaceship. It sounds like, actually it sounds like, kind of reminds me of whales. So she's taken there, and is she able to translate what they're saying? So very good, it's a very good science fiction movie. Well, I think it was well done. What did I give it? I gave it what did I give it? Oh man, I didn't write it down. Did I? I wrote everything else down but what I gave it. That's dumb. Anyway, let's give it a 7. Let's give it a pretty good 7. It's a good 7. It's a worthwhile movie, good story. We'll give it a 7. Okay? Haven't coughed once, have I? Oh yeah, then I watched on TCM. I recorded this a while ago. From 1982, the Slumber Party Massacre. I watched it. I watched the whole thing, you know. High school girls victimized by a killer. Yeah, they all, well, not all of them, but most of them, get taken out by this killer. She's walking around with a drill. Looked like a drill. Or, you know, drills holes, you know, when you drill a hole to put a hole in a wall. Yeah, they're all dumb, eh? So yeah, he drills them in the top of the head and stuff like that. Regular, you know, regular drill fest. It wasn't crazy. I watched the whole thing thinking, but yeah. I gave it a 3. Never watched it. It comes up on TCM again. It was on at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, one of those, you know, midnight things, you know, what they call it on TCM now. I forget what they call it now. But yeah, 1982, Slumber Party Massacre. 3 out of a 10. And then I watched Places in the Heart, TCM, 1984. A farm widow struggling through the depression. Right, so in the beginning of the movie, her husband accidentally gets shot by a black guy. And the black guy gets hung from a tree by all these white people. They hang him up, drag him around the back of the tractor, hanging onto a rope and stuff. Messy kind of stuff. But anyway, the black guy gets hung up. Now, here's Sally Field. She's at home with her kids. How many kids she got? 1 kid, 2 kids? I forget. Anyway, she goes to the bank. Bank's gonna close. Hey, they're gonna say, come on, you owe money. And, you know, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. You should go live with your sister. And, you know, sell the farm, you'd be better off. Well, she doesn't want to do that. She wants to stay on the farm, and she wants to bring up her kids. She wants to stay on the farm. So how is she going to do it? So anyway, this black guy shows up, you know, he chopping wood old stuff, and she goes, well, I can't pay you, because, you know, she got no money, but I can give you breakfast. So gives him breakfast, and that guy was, what's his name, Danny Glover. So get a little bit into the story. She gets the bright idea that she, what about putting cotton out there in the field, you know, make a field of cotton. So then, by then, John Malkovich has moved in. He's a brother-in-law of the banker, right, that keeps hounding Sally Field, right? So Malkovich is staying there at the house now. And her and him and they all get together and they're starting to put cotton out in the field. Then it comes time to pick the cotton, and they ain't got enough people to pick the cotton. So, oh boy, it's depression, and it's one thing after another, and it's a movie from 1984 starring Sally Field. She was very good in this movie, and so was Danny Glover and John Malkovich. But anyway, I give it an 8 out of 10. If you haven't seen Places in the Heart, watch it. And then, oh, I forgot one that actually isn't written in the book. Lost Horizon. Yes, Lost Horizon from 1937, starring Ronald Colman and Jane Wyatt. Directed by Frank Capra. Shangri-La. 5 people end up in Shangri-La. They were in an airplane crash. So they end up in Shangri-La. Some of them want to go home at the beginning. His brother wants to go home, and Ronald Colman really wants to stay there. and he meets Jane Wyatt, and they start talking to each other. And this is a very good movie. Like, I don't know what to say about it. I liked it. I thought it was a very good movie. I've seen it a few times on TCM. I never ever owned it until a while ago, a few months ago, and I said, I want it. I want to own it. I pulled the trigger on Amazon, and I got it. It wasn't that much money. I can't remember how much now, but there wasn't that much money. So that's Lost Horizon. An 8 out of 10, 1937. Yeah, okay, and what else? Oh yeah, okay. Let's get on with this one. This one is called The Conqueror. Never seen it. First time seeing it. It's on TCM. I recorded it for later viewing, you know what I mean? It's one of those. So I watched The Conqueror this week. Finally got around to watching it. And it is what everybody says it is. John Wayne is a Mongol. Genghis Khan, right? He's got all these Mongol guys. And John Wayne doesn't look like a Mongol. He's got his eyebrows up like this way, or his hair, or his brows. But he doesn't look like a Mongol. And then there's, what's her name? Susan Hayward. They didn't touch her. She still looks like Susan Hayward laying there with a negligee on and stuff. Well, she looks mighty nice. I'd steal her myself if I had a few horses and some of my buddies would back me up, right? So, yeah, John Wayne. Some of them look like Mongols, and some of them just look like me and you know, or you and I should say. You know, and you're going, oh man, this is, and how they talk and stuff, and no, it wasn't very good. So, I don't know. I didn't like it. I don't own it. I don't think I'll ever own it, because what's the point? I watched it once, I saw it once, and I didn't like it. I just don't like it. And the thing is, they made this movie in a part of, you know, where they had an atomic bomb, right, going off, a few tests, a couple of years before they made the movie, right? Dick Powell directed it, right? So this is actually a terrible movie. I don't recommend this movie to anybody, unless you want to watch it just for the hell of it. But this movie gets a 3 out of a 10. One probably just because it's a John Wayne movie, one because of John Wayne, and one because of, what's her name? Susan Hayward looking nice. Other than that, it doesn't deserve shit. It's a really bad movie. Whose idea was this? What they sat around the round table, the square table, and said, we're going to make a Mongol movie? But we don't look like Mongols. We don't talk Mongolian. That's all right. It's okay. It's not. Don't worry about it. It's something like those movies, you know, when we make a German movie and we're over in Germany and all that, and everybody has an English accent. Don't worry about it. People will get over that. No. People can get over an English accent in Germany faster than they could get over this movie. This movie is downright terrible. No. So, I'll never watch Conqueror again. I'm very disappointed in this movie. I got a lot of John Wayne movies, and this movie and Jet Pilot are pretty close, if not the worst movies John Wayne ever made. All right. So that's a good Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Easter. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. And I'd say stay with your families, but that doesn't, I don't think they're doing that. There's just shut down here in Toronto, where I am. Closed up shop. Yeah. This stuff's getting to people. People in restaurants open up and then they close again. They open up and then they close again. It's like, no wonder people give up and say, fuck that, I'm not having a restaurant anymore. I'm just going to forget about it. There's a lot of places that are never going to open again. Never. You'll never see it open again. So this is terrible. And instead of getting better, well, some things are getting better, but things are getting worse. So, yeah. Anyway, keep watching those movies. Go Leafs, go. I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. Oh yeah, Ian made his video of movies he watched. Very good movie. I like Hugo. I really like Hugo. I like that one. I got it. I have to watch it. I'll probably watch it this week. Yeah, and he also made a video with the movie books about movies, films that he has, and Rick Leaves did a video with some of his movie books too. And I put my video on of the movie, films, movies, books that I have to do with the movies. So there you go. So look out, search for those videos and watch them. All right, talk to you later. I'll be back next week. Everything's fine and dandy, and talk to you about the movies I watched. So there you go. Keep watching the movies. Have a good weekend.